audio went live. Nothing popped up. Yeah. Uh, it was strictly through. I mean, it would record the party, but it would need permission to use the party audio. I can try Discord later to see if that works. Because I hadn't tried Discord, recording through Discord, but you may not, at least you know how to record through Discord, though. Perfect. So, let me actually see if I don't know if I could actually go through Discord to talk through record that audio. I wonder. Okay, yeah, that we might try that. See if that works. Sorry about that. Sure. Yeah, my bad. I didn't know you. I totally haven't used the app before, so I wasn't sure if they allowed audio. So exactly. I heard they're fixing certain things up. Like I heard now you can be able to stream Xbox through Discord now. So I need to try the. Oh yeah. On. Awesome. Hello, everybody. This is Mr. Awesome One here with another edition of Behind the Scoop. Here with a familiar face in the CAW community. This man, not only an owner, superstar, man has a podcast of his own as well. Like you guys to meet Fallen.
Hey,
Yep, nice to have you on the show here. This is a very familiar face you are in the CAW community. Most every league that I've seen within on an Xbox and a few on PlayStation has your character Fallen involved.
some way or another, whether you want to look at it good or bad, yeah,
Oh,
I'm
exactly.
everywhere.
Whether good or bad, you definitely are a big name there in the community. And this is pretty much the show we like to talk about with these superstars and such. Now, one big question I have to say for Fallen is: was he pretty much your first? Is he your first and only CAW, or how many CAWs did it take along the way before Fallen felt like the right one?
Well, it really all started back at in 15, to be honest. Because prior to that, I didn't really do much of creating calls. I was more enjoying the game itself and just like having fun with my favorite characters on the rosters. But it wasn't until 15 when I decided to make Fallen, which is who I use. He's always been the one that I've used. Like he's been my main one. I mean, I have maybe two or three side ones that I've made after him over the years, but my main focus has always been on Fallen as my main. Like, there's just something about the character when I created him that really speaks like about me. Like it's those locked up aggression, anger, all those emotions that normally you would lock down to keep away from the public. I just put that all into him. Like it shows in the ring, depending on where he's at.
Nice. Now, where how when you first debuted Fallen, what was what? I mean, how did everyone feel about it? How did you, from the start? I mean, did it take a little while before you knew how to work with that character, or was that just you found it right from the start?
Oh man, when I first started, that I will say when I first came into it, this was about 3 years ago. I just got a notification on social media like last week or week before that I've been there for 3 years now, and it's hard to believe. But no, when I first joined in 3 years ago, oh man, I was getting ripped into. I'm not gonna lie, I was the butt of everybody's joke. I was getting called rip off corporate Kane. I was getting called the rip off fiend. All because I used the Fiend's mask. Like I thought it looked cool when he debuted with it. I was like, I can't wait for this to get in because I have an idea for it with Fallen. It turned out too good. I was the end of the ass end of every joke, basically. But it took me a bit to realize what I should do with him because I started doing like the approach like with Undertaker. You know, mysterious. I don't talk unless I have to. And eventually that kind of got me released from the first company I ever joined because there was a misunderstanding about it. He said I wasn't active after I just lost my title that I'd won, my first ever title in call. And from there I was just like, okay, I need to figure something out. What do I need to do? I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to talk when I want to talk, and I'm going to say what I need to say. And from then on out, it was like people kind of took to it. And from there, I was like, okay, now I know how to do them. That's how I act now. It's like you'll see me talk here and there, but you won't see me talk a lot. Because I feel like the more you talk, it can either make you bigger to where you don't know what to do next, or it can literally destroy you. Like, okay, I should have done something different. It's just along those fields, and it was very tricky. But I did find out how to do it, though.
Exactly. I mean, any superstar, even borderline supernatural, if Undertaker talked all the time, it would have been unpopular. That can be a guarantee and such. But if with that success of Fallen, what do you think has been your biggest accomplishment with that character so far?
Oof. Biggest accomplishment. Well, to be honest,
I
in
mean, it could
my
be multiple
opinion,
world titles. It could be a big
I'm
match. It
actually kind
could
of glad
be
you
any
said that
little
because,
thing.
yeah, it kind of is. Like, I know I talk about this a lot when I'm around some of my buddies or, around certain people who are coming in. It's like, my biggest accomplishment that I've had was becoming the first ever two-time EIW World Heavyweight Champion. I had won my first one there when I debuted because there was a tournament going on. You were a part of that tournament. As a matter of fact, you were one of the last people that I actually faced in that tournament.
Exactly. That's a very notorious rivalry between you, Fallen and Brother April.
It is, and it feels like
Outcome
it's
is
still
usually
going on.
50-50. Oh yeah, that feud, as much as our characters are never ending and will never die.
And he's not the only one though. Like there's one other person that is doing the exact same thing. It's like I can't get rid of him. And it's like, dang, this man's gonna be a part of my career whether I like it or not.
Oh yeah, there's a few characters around there that's gonna attach, and between like when you and me, when Brother April and Fallen enter a ring, it's interesting.
Oh,
There's
it
always
is.
going to
Especially the
be a
dynamic they
feel
have.
of, oh yeah, there's a nice dynamic where if we teamed up, we'd be like the most unlikeliest team, but we'd probably scare the hell out of everybody.
Bro, I'm telling you, if we ever end up in a team, I don't think any company would sign us out of fear for their roster's life. Let's be honest.
Yes, we are the true Judgment Day. We would be and we would take all the tag titles if we could.
Seriously, there'd be so much gold. We have to hire somebody just to carry our luggage with them in
Oh yeah, well that's what the Colts for Brother Averill. They carry my bags and my titles.
it.
That's a classic there. But any other moments besides, I mean, the rivalries, the titles, any big matches you could think of that you had with Fallen so far?
Oh yes, this one is my first immediate one to go to because it's technically how I got my. I guess you could say that's how I got noticed when I first came in. Um,
Hmm.
it was with a company. I don't know if they're still around anymore. I doubt they are because the owner of it kind of retired a while back. But it was GXW. That was the company's name that I joined in. I was recommended this company when I came in, mind you. And there was this guy. I don't know where he's at now. Last time I spoke to him was maybe 2, 3 years ago, maybe four. He was going back to school and stuff, but his name was Adam Navarro. Me and this man literally had one of the best series of matches and a great ender to it too. It was all dealing with the hardcore title. This man had gotten me every time we went at it. He beat me to become the inaugural champion by busting me open in a cage. Beat me with a ladder, which we're not going to talk about that. It's funny, but we ain't going to talk about the ladder situation. But the way it ended was it was a Hell in a Cell with a 60-minute time limit. It was basically an Iron Man inside of the structure. And both of us were already bloodied. We were tying up with each other. Commentary didn't know what to think. The crowd was going nuts. And it came down to the last, I want to say, 20 seconds. I was actually able to get the 2 point lead, which ended up giving me the win. And so
Right.
I've always told people that if it wasn't for people like Adam Navarro and the companies that, reached out and gave me a chance, still give me a chance to this day, which I'm thankful for, that was my greatest matchups that I've will ever say that I've had was with Adam Navarro.
Hmm. Wow, that's sorry there. I just had to check something real quick, but that was very. Any other matches you can think of? I mean, that's I was very intense. That I can tell you from experience, those 60-man Iron Man matches with this competitive or EFED with Fallen.
This was EFED. This company did EFED itself. Now, this is literally around the time where I'm still trying to figure out how to balance everything with. Fallen. Like I didn't know nothing about the hit point ratio, nothing like that. So this was literally around the time of me just trying to figure things out and getting lucky putting certain things together. But another iconic match, as much as it literally pains my left knee to talk about. As a matter of fact, you know this one very well. You were in the back when this one was going on, but there was a company still going around to this day. I give them credit; they're still working around. But I don't know if I'm allowed to say the company name, but
Oh,
you'll
you're
know
allowed.
which one I'm talking about.
It's
Okay,
right.
I'm allowed to say the company name.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, TLW, basically True Legends Wrestling.
Yep.
This was competitive. I seen the post one day, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get back into doing competitive. 'Cause that's how I originally started out. I started out with comp leagues with
Mhm.
wrestling, and so I hit up the owner and did try out, and I was signed in. Well, I was put into this big match coming in. I was one of the top stars that the owner had said, and it was me and this other guy going for the world title. The challenge was issued for it to be an Iron Man match. Kind of going to see a little bit of a pattern with Iron Man match stipulations with me. Can't run from them, but apparently they always find me. But it was going to be for the world
Yeah.
title. Well, it ended up becoming a triple threat with a TLW legend coming involved too, Roscoe McCoy. Which I still have not beat that man, even though he retired. I still regret not being able to beat that man. But
Well, they come out and retire back and forth, so you never know.
hey, first time he comes out of retirement, I'm taking my shot because I cannot be sitting here without having to win over that man. Like that haunts me. But
Exactly.
it turned into a triple threat Iron Man match, and during that match, I suffered a very bad injury to my left knee, and it got so bad to where I wasn't able to do a lot of things. I was trying to, keep an understanding of where I was because the pain was getting really bad. In which later on I ended up leaving and had some surgery done on my knee. And still to this day now, ever since that, and you might kind of find this funny. Every match I go into, they always go after my left knee. Never my right, it's always my left knee. And I'm just like,
I got the Rey Mysterio curse.
thank you. And it's like, why? Why go after my knee? Was there a
My
billboard put somewhere
knee.
that I didn't see that has, hey, go for his left knee? That's his weakness. Like, huh?
Yeah, I think they wrote it in every guidebook for for 2K2023. There's a thing in the back that says if you're ever in competitive wrestling, go for if you fight Fallen, go for the left knee.
Apparently, because like I can never have a match where somebody doesn't go for my knee. It's like, why? I'm trying to keep my career, not end it. Thank you. I didn't
Exactly.
win that match though. It ended up turning into a one-on-one due to how bad the knee was. But I will say, being in the ring with a legend like Roscoe and an upcomer who I had known for several years prior, it was a good matchup. I will honestly say it was one of my hardest fought matches, even though I didn't win. But I have a lot of respect for
Mhm.
those people. I do.
Exactly. I mean, you gotta have respect for anybody in CAW. I mean, if we all disrespected each other and such, we would get nowhere and such. We can stay in character, but we gotta show some respect now and then, or
Man,
else you
I
don't get
had no
nowhere in this
choice but to
company.
respect him. I mean, did you see the way he just dogpiled my ass? And pardon my French, but he whooped me like I was a 5-year-old. That's something
Huh?
you don't see.
Yep, there are things, and that is a very. I mean, that's a tough character in general. I There we go. Audio to show back. Okay, there we go. We're back. Yeah, that was wow, Roscoe McCoy. I remember Roscoe. That man is a. Oh, is there any audio thing? Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Yeah, I don't know why it's
There we go.
default with this. Sorry about that, folks. Had a little bit delay with our stream there, but we can get back to it there. Yeah, Roscoe McCoy was a beast in his day and such, and he is still probably one of those opponents that you're wanting to get one last match with. Anybody else you can think of that has already retired or you still want that one last match with?
Oof. He's not retired, but there is somebody that I've been wanting to face for a while, but sadly it's not going to happen. Due to some events in the past where they still believe that I did what was said, which wasn't true. But it would be World Breaker. I've
Ooh,
always wanted to fight that man, but I won't be able to get that chance to. He won't look my way. He wouldn't respond. Overdo some past false allegations that weren't actually true.
damn, and that's fine. We won't go into any details and such about these allegations or anything. I mean, unless you want to. I mean, that's your choice.
I mean, it's not a problem because, like, I've talked about it before. I actually kind of find it hilarious how some people can still hold on to something and call it fact when it's already been proven to be fictional in a way. But no, I was a part of a company I was help running. I'm not going to say the name because that person did do me dirty in the wrongest of ways. Basically, threw me under the bus.
Mhm.
But it was his idea one day. He had hit me up on Discord because we were going back and forth in the locker room chat like we always did.
Yep.
And he came to me and he was like, friendly banter? I'm like, well, what do you mean? So he calls me and he was like, so what if we did this thing where it's like a basically a Montreal, but within management itself. You and I go at it. I leave, you take over. I come back, take it back over once everybody's behind me, giving me motivation. I'm like, okay, so basically, this gives me a chance to see if I can be a heel, see how that is. Because I've always been either a face or in between. Like, I've always been one of those, I guess you could say, vigilantes in a way. I speak when I want and speak when I need to, if it concerns me.
Exactly. You're like the
And
anti-hero that people like.
yeah, basically. Or for some of those people that listening that were a fan back in the day of this person, a Mr. Kennedy, if you would say.
Oh yeah, that was definitely a classic
But
there.
yeah, such good promo skills. People slept on that man. But anyway, so we're like, oh, I'm like, okay, well, we can give this a shot. He's like, all right, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go on Twitter. I'm gonna act like I'm trying to log in, but I'm gonna purposely input the wrong password. So I'm like, okay, so you're basically gonna make it look like I've locked you out of the account. Like, yeah, I'm like, okay, I can try to work with that. His call count leaves, and I'm the one talking in there, and he does one thing that basically kind of blew it and caused me to do an audible. For those that don't understand what audible it is, that's basically where you make a call on the spot due to certain events or circumstances within the time frame. And that's basically what I had to do. So he had decided to message on the company account while I was typing on my account. So it was kind of already starting to fall apart. And so I was like, okay, yeah, no, I have all the accounts. I have the social media account, I have the company account. It's mine. That's all it said. So we're getting into it, and people are not liking. I'm just like, okay, maybe this is going in the right direction a bit. Boy, was I wrong. There were two individuals, and I'm not going to say their names because I have talked to one of them. We have made amends about it. Still kind of messed up, but I forgave them. Two individuals went around to the other leagues that I was a part of, and these were big name vets, and basically told them that I was a hacker. Well, once that happens, everybody was blacklisting me. Everybody was saying this mean ass shit to me. It's like, bruh, something needs to be said here because I'm not a hacker. Like, that's just something that was said in character because of what was going on, the angle that was being played out. Some people understood it. Like, they was like, all right, yeah, we see that it was an angle, probably poor timing, but we could see that. Others, not so well. Next thing I know, I'm seeing on my social media feed, I'm being released from every Fed I was in. I was like, bruh. So I texted the dude and I was like, hey, man, you need to say something because I'm getting fired from everywhere. Like, you need to speak up on it. He did speak up, but he didn't stand up. The only thing that he said was, I'm sorry, this is an angle that I did and I will never do it again. It's like, you really threw me under the bus. Never once said I was innocent. You just said it was an angle that you'll never do again. Like, really?
Yeah, he didn't
So
make
it
it
literally
clear to
took
anybody.
me about a year to get back.
Damn.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was saying, like, wow, just of how they literally threw you under the bus. Literally, this hacker thing was a full angle, and he literally told, as much as he threw, as much as he was trying to defend you, he didn't defend you as much as he should have. Especially when he explained that it was an angle, he should have explained to everyone that, like, hey, you weren't a hacker, you were portraying a hacker.
Basically, like, he threw me under the bus to save his own skin because he had already been blacklisted twice before.
Ooh.
So I guess he wanted to try to prevent a third one from happening and stay around. It's like, bruh,
Oh,
I'm still new here and you're going to do me like that and you say you're my friend? Right now. No, you're not. Because if you were my friend, you wouldn't have thrown me under the bus like that. You would have told people, like, hey, this was all just an angle that I wanted to do. He did what he had to do to keep the angle going, but it didn't work out. Nope, just angle I won't do again. Well, screw you too, bud. See if I ever help you out again.
damn it. Yeah, that's some very sort of drama ish type of stuff that happens in CAW. Sadly, I mean, people aren't fully mature when it comes to this stuff, and they need to realize is like even outside of characters and such. I mean, this is all portraying a character. This all isn't real. I mean, we just like to
Mm-hmm.
keep kayfabe and everything because that's what wrestlers do. But in reality, I mean, people gotta understand a lot of this fake. If someone says he's a hacker and they got no proof, then he's not a hacker, obviously. So don't make
And
it.
the bad thing is, though, here's the bad part, right?
Mhm.
One of the people that I'm working with now, and I'm glad that he gave me the opportunity because he was one of the first people during that incident that was like, you know what? You're not a hacker. I'm gonna put you on my roster. Which again we're gonna talk about, which was mentioned him earlier, Connors. And he was on call with me one day and he was like, by chance you think I can get a house tour? I didn't think nothing of it. I was like, well sure. Showed him everything, my room, my house, everything. He was like, how are you a hacker? I'm like, thank you. Not to mention that actually be a hacker, you're putting in like what, thousands of dollars into equipment that you literally cannot hide.
Exactly. You
It's
can't.
like
You're
I have
using
none
desk.
of that. Like,
You're using either big desktops or you're using freaking very expensive laptops in order to hack.
I don't have the money to do that, and I'll be straight up honest. I'm not that smart when it comes to doing anything like that. When it comes to computerized, I'm lucky I know how to do my Xbox. To be
Exactly. Well,
completely honest.
yeah, most of us here, I think we just pretty much know how to function just our consoles and maybe some computers now and then.
Basic things, yeah, it's easy to do, but something like hacking, no. It's like I've been hacked before. Back when I don't know if you ever played it or if you were a fan of it, but Call of Duty World War II,
Oh, I'm
when
familiar
it
with
was
the Call of
out,
Duty series.
yeah, I was a beast at it. I mean, I enjoyed World War II, but I had gotten a party invite from somebody, and my buddy still gives me an earful about it because he's like, bro, how did you not realize it when the name was right there? Dude's gamer tag was wrecked router. I thought it was just somebody in the lobby that I just fought. I'm like, okay, either they're gonna talk their crap, I'm about to shut them down, or they're wanting to party up. Because that happened a lot. People wanting to party up with me after a game because I either did good or, I was surprising them with the routes. Well, I get in there and it's a bunch of hackers. And they were looking for somebody who had just added me. It's like, dude, I don't even talk to this man. He just added me. Like, how am I supposed to bring him in when I don't even talk to him? They eventually hit me offline and tried to fry my router. Luckily, we were able to prevent it in time. And it's like, yeah, no. Like, no. Anybody who is a hacker or says they're a hacker like that and actually shows it, nah, you ain't worth talking to or respecting my honest opinion like that. That's just, no. That's a form of bullying in my eyes.
Yeah, there's still a lot of people. I mean, internet, Xbox. I mean, every hacker, every little thing is showing up on Xbox. We still get like random messages from people who are just trying to invite you to random websites every now and then.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man.
I,
You want to talk about random messages, bro? I got one day. I was scrolling on my phone, right? Because I use apps sometimes when I'm at home. I got a message from this random account, and I'm just looking at my message request. I'm like, what the hell? They sent me a link, and what made me laugh, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna leave that message in my message request because that's just too funny. That's too golden. It was a site to something called the Horse Gallery. I'm just like, what?
wow.
I'm sorry. What is this?
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I don't want to see this. I might be scarred for life.
For real, like I didn't want to see it, but I'm gonna keep that in my request because that's just too funny. That was the funniest one I've gotten yet.
That's a classic right there. Yeah, I get those all the time, but I tend to just delete and block because spam. It's finally hit
Right?
Xbox, folks. Spam.
For real. One thing that I constantly get messages about, and it's ridiculous. Like I can't even count the amount that I have of the same topic. Right?
Mhm.
There was this game a while back, like years ago, that I played that was free for Xbox. It was called ABP Reloaded. I never understood the game when I downloaded it. Right? I tried to play it, never understood it. So I deleted the game and hadn't touched it since. Right?
Right.
I named my character War, just WAR,
Hmm.
right? An ex friend of mine had the word death. Now you would think between the two, you would think a lot of people would probably go for death than war, right? Because
Right.
death is like, okay, that's power.
Exactly.
No, I still get messages randomly from people who play APB Reloaded talking about, hey, do you still play this game? If not, can you delete your character so I can get the name War? I'm like, huh? Like I even have people offering me money. It's like I know you're not gonna pay, and I'm not wasting my time downloading a game I'm not gonna play. So no thanks. Like I get them every day almost, and
Wow.
it's ridiculous.
That's a classic right there. I remember APB Reloaded as well, and for someone to beg you for that name, it's like how addicted must they be to that game?
For real, what psychological problems do they have with the name War where they want it so bad? It's like, huh? I'm sorry, if I was in your position, I'm going for death. I
Yeah.
ain't going for war, I'm going for death.
If you message them back, you should just give them the lyric for the song. Be like, "What is it? What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Bye bye."
There was one dude I honestly thought about reciting War Pigs.
Oh wow.
I'm not even gonna lie. I literally thought about doing War Pigs to somebody.
These people on the internet with that, but back to topic, I guess on your characters. I mean, outside of
Yeah.
Fallen, has there been any other CAWs you've used so far with success, or some great failures you like to talk about?
Uh, well, there is there is one that is having some decent success right now. It is part of a tag team, but to keep people still in suspense, I'm not going to say what the team is, or the character itself. But here lately, they've been doing good since they originally came in during 19. Well, 20 to 19, because everybody was reverting back from 2K20 to 19
Yep.
because of the glitches and crashes that happened constantly with 20.
Exactly. I mean,
And
that was a nightmare.
tell me about it. I spent all that money on them DLCs and everything. It's like, bro, I want my money back. I ain't lying. I want my money back.
Yeah, we recently
But
did a special for Violent Vicious for the Bray Wyatt tribute, and we did it on 20, and that the frame rate on that game still is pretty bad, especially when you're
like they
playing with
even take time
CAWs.
with it.
Yeah, they really needed to take their time with it, and they just didn't.
Uh, but yeah, when they first started, they got their first ever title match. They had won a elimination style matchup to determine the number one contenders at that
Mhm.
point for the tag titles, and they did win. And go on to secure their first title. After that, we've had, well, I've had a couple of feds message over the time that they've been there and walking them, and they've won a decent amount of tag titles so far. I'm not gonna lie, they're on their big break. The partner to this call and that team has won their first singles title
Mhm.
recently, so it's getting there. It's slowly. Whether I'm going to reveal that character anytime soon is still up for debate. I really would like to do it like after they've been like, what's the word? Uh, there's a word I'm thinking of that everybody uses, like personified or something like that. I guess you
One,
can kind of get what I'm saying. Like once
yeah,
they're
once they're
established,
exactly once they're more established in that, and they're more recognizable
yeah,
and
and if the
such.
conversation ever got brought up, then yeah, I'll do it. There's
Mhm.
another one I've done that's he's doing really well. I mean, this man's already I think like a two-time champion already, and a former singles champion as well.
Mhm.
He was actually believe it or not, he was actually a boredom creation. Like I was bored one night, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna see what I can do with this style because like I've always done heavyweights and up. Like that's just always been my thing. I've been a fan of the strong style, whether it's grapple strikes. I never really went for like the technical side nor the submission side. So I was like, you know what, this is gonna be a first.
Right.
Boy, was I glad that that mistake happened because he's very sought after at this point now.
Damn. That's. I mean, that's good to hear with the success with other CAWs and such there. With those guys and even Fallen, what do you think is the future for Fallen for your Fallen CAW?
Well, as of right now, the way I'm seeing it is, I got a lot coming up late, soon. I know I still have to look forward to defending the world championship that I currently possess, uh, in LPW, which is a good one to check out. If anybody hasn't, I'd suggest you do. Very good, very classic. But I know I do plan in the next 3, 4 years, maybe five, depending on how I'm feeling. I may hang it up with Fallen and just focus on the next generation because he already has a successor coming in soon. But he's not going to come in until, Fallen officially hangs up the boots, which I feel like eventually that's coming because recently, the knee's been getting a lot worse. It's kind of hard in the mornings to actually get up because it wants to like stiffen up. It doesn't want to bend or anything. It just wants to be straight.
Mm-hmm.
But I am looking forward to putting on some good matches again, and hopefully do some matches that will tell some stories that will solidify my legacy. If anything good, people can look back like, you know what? He may have done a lot of stuff. He may have said some things, but that match right there, I remember him because of how that was start to finish. You know what I mean?
Exactly. That is especially especially with our CAW, we want to still be remembered and such for a long time. Hang up the boot sometimes. I know my first CAW, Jake Cassie's getting there, and then for Brother Averill, I'm still mixed on his. He may stay a little bit more longer.
April's been around for a while.
Yeah,
That man
six
is the
6 years.
personification of legend.
Oh yeah, he is. He right now this year would be 6 or 7 year. I believe 2017 was when he was made. So 6 years.
Also, about a year difference between 17 and 15 when the phone was created.
Yep.
Not bad. I did not know that. That's actually pretty interesting to know there.
Oh yeah, there's I'll have to put it on the Learbox Scoop channel. There is a video from my friend's channel, which is the official debut of Brother Averill, the first appearance of Brother Averill. He was back then he was called Adveril, but I took away the D and Averill just sounded way better.
Hey, it definitely rolls off the tongue.
Oh, exactly. It's a pretty nice name and such there. But I
But
think
you know,
we're gonna. Oh,
there's one thing I do want to say. Like, you might laugh at this, and some people might laugh at this, but ever since stepping in the ring with April and hearing that theme, I swear to you, I'm not lying. Every time I walk out of my room in my house to go like to the kitchen or something, there's always a radio that's playing, right? Because we always like to have some form of music in the kitchen. That theme will play at least twice a day on the radio, and it's like, why? Why is April stalking me in my own home?
yeah, that's you gotta be careful with that. That's how you summon Averill into your house. You play that too many times.
I
It's
have
like,
no control over it. The radio does it.
that's
It's like, stop.
that's the joke there. That's like Jeepers Creepers.
Right, or Candyman.
Or Candyman. Yep. So you gotta fear when you suddenly hear "Reach out and touch faith."
For real, every time I hear that, I look back over my shoulder. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, one of these days he's gonna be a horror movie character. That will be like, you'll know that will be definitely be in his trailer theme.
Bro, I'm telling you, that song has probably caused so much PTSD within the community itself, and people that face them. It's like immediately frozen in place as soon as that lyric hits. Reach out, touch me. Oh, oh
When
boy.
I
Where?
hear
Where?
when I hear that on the radio, I'm like, I still gotta look around. Like, April, you're stalking me.
It's like, this man's everywhere. How'd
Exactly.
you get in my house?
Yep. That's the magic of April. He is not one place. He's everywhere, and that's how your fear stays alive. He's like Freddy Krueger mixed with Candyman, and he's a cocktail of horror movies basically.
I know there's one buddy of mine who still has PTSD from one of my original themes that I used when I debuted because I've always been a fan of Ozzy growing up. Like Ozzy Osbourne, that was my thing when I grew up. And I actually used Crazy Train at once, and then I turned around and used Shepherd of Fire by Avenged Sevenfold. So now anytime my buddy hears the opening to Shepherd of Fire,
Mhm.
he literally will cuss my name or text me and be like, "Stay away from me." Like, I'm not even nowhere near you. What are you talking about? And he'll tell me, like, bro, your song is playing on the radio on my phone. Like, oh, have fun.
It's funny. That's memorable and such, especially CAW themes. If your CAW is good and when someone hears that CAW theme and you get goosebumps or chills, that tells you how good your CAW really is.
Oh,
But
yeah, because one of the things, I'm actually going to be bringing it back soon. I'm just waiting for the right time. Um, there's a song called Revolt by Trust Divided. And that was actually Adam Navarro's theme when I started out. And like it was so good, I literally ended up messaging him like after our feud when he left because 20 was coming out and everything. And I was like, bro, do you mind if I use that theme? Like it is so awesome. Do you can I get permission from you to use that thing? And he was like, sure, by all means, go ahead. And I still love that song, and I still will use that if I have to pick any theme. I will always go with Revolt by Trust Divided. It's like it's just I love the tuning to it, and the vocals are like awesome.
That is awesome. So I think this is a good time for us to probably call our show here. But is there anything you would like to say before we call it? Before we call it?
Am I allowed to advertise here?
Oh yeah, you're allowed to advertise.
All right. Well, if you want to know more about what's going on within my career and my life, or if you want to check out the podcast that was mentioned earlier, feel free to. The Twitter handles are, or X as they call them now, only silence left for myself. Then the podcast is The Falling Ref for the Fallen Revolution. We are trying to get things up and running smoothly where we're at least trying to put a podcast out at least once or twice a week to a month, hopefully. But check us out there because we always keep everybody up to loop on who's coming up next.
Nice. It's good to hear. Good to hear from you on this episode here. Hope to bring you back for another episode in the future.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely have to get together and work on that one. Hopefully, I can get you on the podcast soon too.
Oh, definitely.
Love to
Yeah.
have you on there.
Oh, definitely. I'd love to make an appearance. Yep, this has been Mr. Awesome One with the Behind the Scoop. Hope to see you for another episode.